Hi, I'm Fraser Douglas, the avid tent camper. In this video, I want to tell you about one of my favorite tent camping vacation destinations, the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. The park straddles the Tennessee-North Carolina border and is located about 200 miles north of Atlanta, 490 miles southwest of Washington, D.C., and 580 miles southeast of Chicago. The park was created in the 1920s and dedicated in 1940 to protect approximately 800 square miles of land that host the greatest diversity of animals, wildflowers, and trees found anywhere in the United States. It sits in the heart of the Appalachian Mountains and receives rainfall almost every day of the year. Its name comes from the mist that looks like smoke as a result of the rain evaporating. This was the home of the Cherokee people until the 1830s, when the Indian Removal Act was signed and large numbers were forced to walk out to Oklahoma along the Trail of Tears. The park is about 70 miles wide from the far western border to the far eastern border, and the Appalachian Trail runs along the crest of the mountains for most of this distance. It's about 35 miles from Gatlinburg on the northern boundary of the park, up over the mountain and down to Cherokee, which is on the southern boundary of the park. Although much of the park is rustic wilderness area with lots of hiking trails, waterfalls, scenic overlooks, beautiful vegetation, and black bears, several small towns are located just outside the park, and these towns offer supplies, nice restaurants, and lots of recreational and tourist activities. For example, Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge, Townsend, and Cosby are located on the northern Tennessee side, while Bryson City, Cherokee, Fontana Village, and Maggie Valley are located on the southern North Carolina side. The park has 10 developed campgrounds with elevated tent pads, picnic tables, fire rings, lantern posts, and parking areas. All but one of these campgrounds have bathrooms with flush toilets, but none of them have hot water or showers. 5 of these campgrounds are in Tennessee, and 5 are in North Carolina. The Oakmont Campground, located about 8 miles west of Gatlinburg, is arguably the most popular campground in the national park. It is certainly our favorite campground. One reason we like it is because it has a very nice store with firewood, ice, and a good supply of food staples. We especially like walk-in campsites in the A and B sections because they are close to the camp store, close to the park exit, and close to the shuttle bus stop. Some of our favorite activities include hiking up the Little River Trail, viewing the ruins of a once great resort hotel, watching the synchronous fireflies in early June, relaxing by a cold mountain river and sometimes taking a dip in that river, fishing for trout, hiking up to Laurel Falls, catching the shuttle bus into the Sugarlands Visitor Center, touring the Sugarland Visitor Center, hiking from the Sugarland Visitor Center down to Gatlinburg on a very beautiful trail, walking through Gatlinburg, taking the tram up to Ober-Gatlinburg, and visiting the aquarium, especially when our grandchildren are with us. The Cades Cove Campground, located about 10 miles south of Townsend, Tennessee, on the western side of the park, is another very popular campground in the national park, and it was my personal favorite in the 1990s. My two sons and my sisters joined me on several trips there during the 90s. We tried to stay in the C section as often as possible because this section does not permit generators and as a result draws more tent campers than RVs. The primary attraction of this campground is the scenic loop road that travels around the outside edge of the cove. Campers can bring their own bicycles or rent them at the Cades Cove store and bike around the loop, or they can walk or drive around the loop. Along this loop trail, visitors will see many beautiful views of the cove. They'll also have the opportunity to explore over a dozen old historic buildings. They'll usually see several deer and turkey, and occasionally a bear or two. Other popular activities in the cove include riding horses, taking a hayride around the cove, attending ranger-led programs, and hiking to Abrams Falls. The Cosby Campground is located in the northeastern part of the park, about 20 miles east of Gatlinburg. It is not as popular as some of the other campgrounds in the park and would be a good choice if you prefer a rustic setting. The Ramsey Cascades trailhead is nearby, but if you plan to do this hike, plan to get started early in the morning because it takes a long time to hike 4 miles up the mountain. But when you get to the top, the view is spectacular. The Abrams Creek Campground is a very small and remote campground located on the far western side of the park. We've never been there because we prefer larger campgrounds, but a few campers like the seclusion this campground has to offer. The Look Rock Campground, located along the Foothills Parkway on the far western side of the park, was once popular with RVs, but currently is closed. Over on the North Carolina side of the park, Smokemont is clearly the most popular campground. It's located about 5 miles north of Cherokee, North Carolina, and has several nice tent sites in the A, B, and C sections. Within just a few miles of the campground, you can enjoy renting horses, touring the Oconaluftee Visitor Center that displays several artifacts related to early pioneer life, visiting Mingus Mill, trout fishing, riding on the Blue Ridge Parkway, and exploring the town of Cherokee. The town of Cherokee is located on the Cherokee Indian Reservation and used to be a family-friendly vacation destination with lots of activities and exhibits that appeal to children. Today, the most popular attraction is the casino, but still you are able to find the Museum of the Cherokee Indian, the Oconaluftee Indian Village, and the Unto These Hills drama that provide lots of information about early Native American life. My favorite North Carolina campground is Deep Creek, located about 3 miles north of Bryson City. This campground does not accept reservations, and so you must arrive by noon on Friday in order to get a decent campsite on a popular summer weekend. About half the campsites are tent-only walk-in campsites located in a meadow along the creek. The most popular activity here is tubing on Deep Creek, but visitors can also enjoy hiking the trails, visiting 3 scenic waterfalls, exploring the town of Bryson City, and perhaps riding on the Smoky Mountains Railroad. Balsam Mountain, Cataloochee, and Big Creek are 3 small remote campgrounds on the far eastern side of the park. Ava and I have never visited these campgrounds, but people who enjoy the remote camping experience seem to enjoy these campgrounds. If you prefer to have hot showers, or if your chosen campground is full, you'll find dozens of private campgrounds with nice tent camping facilities located around the park. This one is located in Cherokee, North Carolina, and this one is located in Townsend, Tennessee. No matter where you're camping, you should make a point of going to Clingman's Dome, located at the top of the mountain in the center of the park. It is the highest point in the park and in the state of Tennessee. Great Smoky. Well, I hope this video gives you more information about the Great Smoky Mountains National Park that will allow you to decide whether you'd like to come here for a vacation sometime in the future. For more information about great tent camping destinations in the eastern United States, please visit my website, www.basictentcamping.com. Remember, take more trips, travel further, visit more attractions, and save money. Go tent camping.